Hey guys, so now that we have installed Node.js, Sublime Text, and made sure npm is installed, let's move on to the biggest installation that we want to, which is React. So there are multiple ways of getting your server set up and using these libraries. We will take one which is very easy approach to go, especially because we're just starting up. I will drive you through on how it works, but just to let you know, you can first go to React website, which is facebook.github.io/react, which is an open source. You can explore. You can see that there are what are the advantages. We already talked about it. You can see a little more examples, but we don't have to go through all this. What we will do is we'll directly go get started and we'll go on to the installation. Now, what happens is when you go onto the installation, you have different approaches and different things that you can configure. But the best one that I like, and probably it's easier and will work for us in our application, we'll go on creating a single page application. You see that? Now there is a small package that we will install. Again, it's from npm, so having npm installed is very important. So I will do along with you. The way we will do is we'll have the start files and the end files for all the lectures that we have. So before I start the lecture, I'll create the start files, and after I'm done with the lectures, I'll do the end file, and then I'll share you the code so that if you're doing a walkthrough with me, you'll know what the differences are, and if things don't work, you can go onto my code base and go and check it. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is npm install. So let's just copy paste this, go to a terminal window, and let me clear this out. Let's make sure we are in the right package. Let me do an ls is 0 setup. So let's go in there, cd 0_setup. Okay. Now we are doing it in the start. We have nothing to start with, so everything is slate 0. We'll just have the end. So let's just go to cd end. Now we are here. Let's try to install npm, which is global. So global means you don't have to worry that if it's only in this package or not. It will be all throughout your system. Oh, I have a problem because I did not give a sudo. Let me do that. Put in the password. And everything installed. Simple, right? Now the next thing we'll do is we'll create a small hello world application. Let's go back. Let's make sure you are in the same folder where you're supposed to create it, which is end in this scenario. And I'll just say create world, hello world, and let's just do this. It should create the sample application. So let me tell you what all it does. It installs. So if you see this, all these scripts that I had written, we don't need to execute any of this. The create React application will do all this. So it will install React for us, Webpack and Web Dev Server. It will install Babel Loader, Babel. So these are the files that we'll need. Again, it's not necessary that you know everything about them. We will start learning about them slowly, so don't panic. It's okay that you're seeing new things, which is completely alright. Now let's move on. So the moment we see everything is installed, you have created hello world application successfully. Now it will give you a few commands. It says npm start, npm run build, npm test, and npm run eject. Okay. So let's do a cd hello world as it says. We suggest that you do this. Let's do a cd hello world. Now I'm inside the hello world folder. Now I'll do a npm start. I'll get to it. Npm start is not a command for npm. It's actually a command created by our application. I'll show you shortly on where that script resides. So let's do an npm start, and it should open up a browser, and it should be something like this. So you can see now we have our live server on, we have React application on, and we can begin our coding. Let me just rearrange this app, Chrome app. Just take it out. Let's make sure this is correct. Let's just realign it so that we see half the screen here and half the screen there. So we have the server, we have the application. Let's also get our Sublime Text. So now we don't need all this. We can just close this. Now open a Sublime Text. The moment you open Sublime Text, it will give you an option. You can go into File, Open. When you do an open, make sure you go on to where you were supposed to be, which is React folder that we have. Where are my applications? React tutorial, setup, and hello world. And let me open this up. So the moment I open this up, it will be out here. And there are many shortcuts that probably I'll be using, and I'll keep on sharing those with you so that you also know what I'm using when you're using Sublime Text. I'm kind of used to it, so I will be using them. So the first thing I want to do is hide. So the way we hide it is Control K, Control B. You can hide the sidebar. If you don't want to do that, you can just go into view. So let's say sidebar. You can go show sidebar. Control K, and you can see the shortcuts here. The way the structure is laid down for this particular application is, here is the node module. So everything that you need from the node packages, which is any libraries that you need from npm, are already installed in the node modules folder. Then we have a public folder which has our index.html, which is the starting point of our application. And then we have, let me just expand this Sublime Text so that we can see the full HTML. Okay, so you can see this is the starting HTML, and React app creates everything for us. We also have app.css, which is nothing but the CSS file or the styling that we have seen on the screen. We have app.js. This is the meat. This is where we will be starting our code or our application, because that's where the start point is. We also have test. Again, we do not have any test installed yet, but you can definitely write test using Jasmine out here. Index CSS, it's for the HTML. Index.js, again in index.js all you're doing is calling your app. Okay, and then the logo, it's an SVG format so you can't see it here, but that's the structure for your source folder. Git ignore is for a GitHub. Package.json. Now comes the real thing. So remember those scripts we talked about, start, build, test and eject, they are all defined here in the package.json, and all it's doing is it's calling React scripts and start. So it's basically a shortcut created for executing this, and it's all residing in your package.json. Package.json also has your version, so you can lumber your version. Let's say if you want to have a new fix going in, so you control your versioning in this package.json. And of course the readme file, and this is the standard file that comes along with React. So let's try to see the code, and let's try to edit some data. Let me just get this back here so we can see the application too. Now we see the application. Now let's go to source folder, app.js, and I see a lot of HTML written here. So let's forget how this code looks like, but let's just write a little HTML here in this p tag before we do anything. So let's just write an h1 tag. My page starts here. h1 close. Let's save it, and the moment I save it, the application should refresh itself automatically and give you my page starts here. I did not do anything, and all the refresh worked by itself. And that's the magic of Webpack. So if you remember seeing Webpack when I was installing, that's how you achieve hot deployments. So if you see here, it also installs Webpack. Okay. So that was installation part 2, where we installed the React application, and you can see your application is up and running.